Imagine losing $1.5 billion in less time than it takes to make coffee. No alarms, no broken passwords, no masked hackers smashing through digital vaults. Just a normal workday and one approval click. This wasn't a chaotic breach. It wasn't sloppy security. The systems didn't fail. The people didn't fail. Every safeguard worked exactly as designed. And that's why the theft succeeded. In this story, you're about to witness the largest theft in human history, a cyber heist so precise that the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar crypto exchange personally approved it, believing everything on his screen was perfectly secure. This isn't the story of careless employees or weak passwords. It's the story of state-sponsored hackers who didn't attack code. They attacked trust. A fake job interview, a harmless-looking file, 17 invisible lines of code. And within minutes, $1.5 billion vanished into the blockchain, destined to fund missiles, nuclear weapons, and a regime the world can't touch. You never see the theft happen, that's the point. September 2024, Seoul, South Korea. A 28-year-old software developer opens his laptop for what he believes is a life-changing job interview. His name is Kim Ji-hyun. He's sitting in his apartment, wearing a button-up shirt and headphones. On his screen is a Zoom call with someone claiming to be from a Silicon Valley startup. The recruiter sounds professional. American accent. Company logo in the background. Everything checks out. The offer feels unreal. $180,000 a year. Equity, remote work. The dream job for any developer. For Kim, it means freedom. Paying off his parents' debts. Moving out of his cramped apartment. Finally feeling like all those late nights learning to code were worth it. There's just one final step. A technical test. Download this file, run it. Show us your coding environment. Kim clicks download. The file opens. Nothing crashes. No warnings appear. No alarms sound. Everything looks normal. But in that exact moment, something invisible happens. 17 lines of malicious code execute silently in the background. No pop-ups, no suspicious behavior. Just a quiet handover of access. Kim has no idea he just became patient zero in the largest cyber heist the world has ever seen. The group behind this isn't a startup. It isn't a criminal gang chasing fast money. They don't want luxury cars or private islands. They work for a country. They're known as the Lazarus Group, an elite cyber warfare unit tied directly to North Korea's intelligence apparatus, officially called Bureau 121. These hackers aren't freelancers, they're military officers, selected as children, removed from their families, trained for years in mathematics, computer science, and English. By their 20s, they're elite cyber soldiers with a single mission: steal money. A lot of it. Not for personal gain, but to keep an isolated regime alive. The world first noticed Lazarus in 2014. Sony Pictures, confidential emails leaked, unreleased films stolen, executives humiliated, over $100 million in damage. The reason was almost absurd. Sony had released a comedy involving the assassination of Kim Jong-un. The public laughed. Intelligence agencies didn't. They realized something unsettling. North Korea could reach inside major American corporations at will. In 2016, Lazarus went bigger. They hacked the Central Bank of Bangladesh, attempting to steal $1 billion from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. They managed to steal $81 million before the operation collapsed. What stopped the remaining $900 million wasn't cutting-edge security software. It was a spelling mistake in a transfer request. One typo raised suspicion. Excellent hacking. Terrible spelling. That failure didn't slow them down, it refined them. By 2022, Lazarus stopped attacking companies directly. Instead, they attacked trust itself. Software updates, hiring pipelines, internal tools, trusted people. They didn't steal passwords. They didn't break encryption. They did something far more dangerous. They manipulated what people saw. Imagine approving a transaction. The address looks correct. The amount looks correct. The smart contract appears clean. Every checkbox is ticked. Every safeguard satisfied. But underneath the interface, everything is different. It's like writing a check to your friend, watching their name on the paper, and only after you sign does it silently change to someone else. This isn't hacking systems, it's hacking perception. Reality hacking. By January 2025, that strategy led them to their biggest target yet. Bybit, based in Dubai, was one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world. Billions in customer assets. Cold storage wallets kept offline. Multi-signature approvals requiring multiple executives. Biometric authentication. The kind of security architecture designed to survive nation-state attacks. But somewhere inside Bybit's ecosystem, through a compromised update, a poisoned tool, or a trusted device, Lazarus was already inside, watching daily operations, studying approval habits, learning exactly how humans interacted with machines, waiting for the perfect moment. February 21st, 2025, 2:47 a.m. Dubai time. A routine internal transfer is initiated. Funds moving from cold storage to hot storage. This happens constantly. The interface shows everything is normal. The address checks out. The amount checks out. The smart contract looks clean. One of the approvers is Ben Zhou, the CEO himself, the man who helped design these security protocols. He checks everything carefully. He's done this hundreds of times before. Nothing feels unusual. Then he signs. Other executives verify and sign independently. Multi-signature security works exactly as designed, and within 2 minutes, $1.5 billion in Ethereum is gone. No alarms, no red flags. The malware masked everything perfectly. The signing interface showed truth, while the blockchain executed lies. The money doesn't move in one massive transaction. That would trigger alarms across the world. Instead, it's split automatically into 50 wallets, each holding roughly 10,000 Ethereum. To the blockchain, it looks ordinary. To Lazarus, it's perfect. By sunrise in Dubai, the funds are scattered across the network, and the laundering begins. Hours later, a Bybit security analyst notices something strange. The cold wallet balance is lower than expected. The approvals all look legitimate. Every signature is valid. But the destination address doesn't belong to Bybit. Panic spreads instantly. Emergency calls are made. Executives are pulled from sleep. Law enforcement is contacted. Bybit goes public. We have experienced a security incident. Customer funds are safe. Technically true, but $1.5 billion has vanished, and the damage is already done. The crypto world explodes. Accusations fly. Insider job, negligence, poor security. But cybersecurity experts recognize the pattern immediately. The wallet splitting. The laundering paths, the timing. This wasn't incompetence, this was Lazarus. Ben Zhou sits alone in his office, replaying the moment again and again. He didn't make a mistake. He followed every protocol. That's what makes it unbearable. The system didn't fail, it was deceived. Trust itself was weaponized. In Washington, the FBI's cyber division assembles as blockchain visualizations fill the screens. Wallets split, merge, vanish across chains. The problem becomes obvious immediately. Cryptocurrency has no kill switch, no central authority. The only chance is to intercept the funds when they touch exchanges. Alerts go out worldwide. Wallet addresses are flagged. Compliance teams scramble. It becomes a race between law enforcement and Lazarus' laundering machine. What follows is unprecedented. 50 wallets laundering simultaneously. Decentralized exchanges. Cross-chain bridges. Mixers like Tornado Cash. Every transaction is public. Everyone can watch. No one can stop it. Within days, hundreds of millions of dollars are successfully laundered. Only a small fraction, roughly 7%, is frozen when it touches compliant exchanges. One anonymous exchange processes massive volumes without hesitation, earning enormous fees. It isn't illegal, it's just profitable. Decentralization has no morality filter. Then a crack appears. One wallet behaves differently. A transaction touches a small Southeast Asian exchange that requires identity verification. An IP address surfaces. Cambodia. The truth emerges. Lazarus hackers don't operate solely from North Korea. They're scattered across Asia, Cambodia, China, Thailand, Malaysia. They live quietly, rent apartments, work remotely, send money home. A cyber gig economy, except the employer is a nuclear-armed state. By the time authorities arrive, the location is empty, but the pattern is exposed. By March 2025, most of the money has been laundered, but it's barely usable. Converting cryptocurrency into real currency is slow, risky, and expensive. Lazarus relies on money mules, paying enormous commissions just to access their own stolen funds. Hundreds of millions are lost just to move the money. The irony is brutal, the largest heist in history, and they still have to hide. Investigators estimate that nearly 50% of North Korea's foreign currency now comes from cybercrime. Not trade, not exports. Code. That money funds ballistic missiles, nuclear research, and sanctions evasion. This wasn't just theft, it was state-sponsored warfare financed by keystrokes. By December 2025, Bybit survives. Emergency loans are secured. Customers are made whole. The FBI manages to freeze around $100 million. The rest disappears into the global financial bloodstream, fragmented and nearly impossible to reclaim. Kim Ji-hyun is cleared. A victim, not a criminal. But he lives with the knowledge that his computer opened the first door to history's largest theft. A single click changed everything. The hackers are never arrested. They remain untouchable, protected by borders, politics, and silence. And the malware that made it all possible is still out there. Improved, evolved, studied, and copied by others. Waiting for the next trusted screen, the next routine approval, the next human who believes what they see. This is what modern cyber warfare looks like. No explosions, no soldiers, just code, psychology, and patience. Attacks designed not to break systems, but to quietly bend them until they betray the people who rely on them. In 2024 alone, Lazarus stole $1.34 billion across dozens of attacks. Bybit wasn't the peak. It was a test. Because when attackers can make reality lie, when every screen can be trusted and still be wrong, the question isn't whether this will happen again. It's who will be next. And here's the most uncomfortable truth of all. Nothing about this attack required futuristic technology or undiscovered vulnerabilities. The tools already exist. The techniques are already documented. Every company watching this story unfold believes it won't happen to them until it does. Because the weakness wasn't a missing patch or a bad password. It was the assumption that what you see on your screen reflects reality. In a world where interfaces can lie and trust can be engineered against you, security isn't just a technical problem anymore. It's a human one. And until systems are built to assume deception by default, the next impossible theft isn't a matter of if, only when.